they've started these firms and they have a strategy and they want to kind of be fundraising and doing deals at the same time. And it takes a lot of work, right? I mean, it's just not natural to do all things well as you're hiring, as you're putting in back office, So I think some of the advice I always give, and I've heard other people say this too, is to sort of like treat your own management company as its own business, and to think about like, what is the runway you need to be able to raise this fund? Is it 2 years? Is it 3 years? How much capital do you need to do the strategy? I think it's an art and science to say like, okay, I need to do a deal or two to get in front of this LP. But I don't want to do too many deals where it becomes like, I've committed the funds so much so that I'm already, done my deployment period. So I think there's a little bit of a balance depending on who you are, where you sit, your fundraising targets, your timelines, and just who your overall LP base will be.
I think a lot of emerging managers have been starting to use co-investments as call it a carrot for a lot of prospective LPs. So I think Stepstone, Hamilton Lane, and a lot of clients we work with, for emerging managers, it's pretty unlikely that we're going to come into a first close. But then there, I think, a universe of LPs, maybe on the smaller, nimbler side, that whether it's ENFs or OCIOs or family offices, that I think can be more opportunistic, can come in earlier and really be part of that first close. And I think using that co-investment as a potential carrot can be pretty useful. I think this is where technology can come into play, both for sourcing deals as well as just I don't like to call it sourcing LPs, but fundraising.
When I think of sourcing, I think of it's the very first stage of a complete investment process that you're building in a new firm. And if you're driving a strong process, you've hired a team that's going to be doing it. You want to see that team operating, even though may not be capital to invest yet. But yeah, the only way I believe to truly build a strong LP relationship is give them a flavor of what's going to be in the new portfolio. So it's not as much of a blind pool to step in.